Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So I just want to talk about this composition for a minute. So basically, just to recap what I did in part one, is I made a cross. It was not a, it wasn't completely down the page, center stage. It was a little bit like I placed it over here and it was a little bit tilted, and I really love that composition because it just gives so much dynamic interest to the page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this, but I'm also going to show you a couple of paintings where the cross is used. But I'm just going to work on this for a minute here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to bring this up closer, and I just want you to look at this luscious, beautiful paint quality. And that's what happens when you allow things to dry naturally. And I'm not against heating tools, you guys. I actually have 2 or 3 of them and I do use them. I absolutely do. But what I find is that when I have the patience to just simply allow things to dry by themselves, the paint quality that I get is unrivaled. So you kind of have to go, you know what, I'm impatient and I want to use a heating tool, but I'm gonna have to sacrifice a little bit of beautiful, delicious paint quality, or I can just be patient and wait. And usually if I leave things overnight, when I come to it in the morning, it's completely dry. But I just love all this luscious juiciness that has happened over here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I am just going to kind of, I guess, like, I'm gonna reinforce this cross kind of composition here because some of it got lost when I worked over top of it. And so I'm just gonna I'm gonna keep that like so. And I think what I want to do is I want to leave parts of the page like a little bit with the blank page. I'm just kind of feeling it. I don't know why, but I'm gonna introduce another color. Like I've got the reds and the blues and some neutrals, but I feel like there's this yellow over here and a little bit over here, and I think I want to pick up on it. So I am going to, okay, I'm just gonna kind of go like so. So I'm not going for any kind of realism. I am more focused on the composition. So that gives me a lot of leeway. When I'm not so focused on the figure, I'm just kind of like more, I mean, I am focused on the figure, don't get me wrong, but I'm more kind of like trying to keep this composition the way it is. Like I don't want to obliterate that. I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add another layer of this beautiful, delicious, juicy red. And I had some yellow on my paintbrush, which I did intentionally, like I didn't clean it off from the yellow that I just used there because I want to pick up on some of that yellow. Like even if it's not apparent, it's still going to kind of be there to move my eye around the page. And I think I'm gonna keep this as is. I'm not gonna cover up this text. Like I really like this raw kind of unfinished look here. As much as I love layers, I also love this like where you can see some pieces of the page just completely white. So an interesting fact is that Matisse, towards the end of his life, he actually went blind. Like he was diagnosed as legally blind. And he did some of his greatest works actually at that point. and he did a lot of collage, and there were paintings of his that he left the canvas, parts of it, completely untouched. And you know, nobody knows, like, did he do it intentionally? Did he do it because he was blind? I shouldn't say going blind. He actually was declared blind. He could see a little bit, but not enough so that you know, like, it was really, he was blind. So nobody knows if he did it on purpose or, you know, if it was accidental, but they are really just delicious paintings. And I love that. I just love all that white parts of the canvas that he left. So, like I said, I want to keep that delicious paint quality there. Like, I don't want to get rid of it. So I'm going to try not to mess it up too much. And I don't want it to be like a really bright yellow. I want it to be kind of a bit subdued, you know, just because I just feel like it fits in with this kind of spread. But I want to reinforce this line here. And so while this is, you know, just kind of drying a little bit here, I'm going to show you these paintings that I was talking about. So this is actually a really great book. I'm just going to move that off to the side. This is a great book on composition and design, and I'm going to leave the name of this particular book in the description below, but I want to show you what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to bring this up closer. This is by an amazing, phenomenal painter. His name is Daniel Green, and I'm going to bring this up closer here. And this is a design composition that is a cross. So I'm going to show you what I mean, okay? So do you see the arm going here and the arm going here, okay? So it is a cross. It's not like straight on, it's diagonal. It's a diagonal cross. So here we go. Here we have the arms right there. They're outstretched on either side, but at a diagonal. So we've got the cross, okay? And then here are the figures. And the cross is, so it's kind of coming kind of like so. Now, you can really see it. Like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So this is very much on purpose. I guarantee you, like, he did this on purpose. Like, he didn't just, like, you know, this didn't happen accidentally. This is a cross, and it's very, very common. I've seen it done in landscapes, in still lifes. It is a very, very common design element. And I think one of the reasons is because it's just, like I said, it's dynamic, but it's also stable. And see, there you go. Now, the second painting I want to show you is also by Daniel Green. It's the same artist, but now this is also a cross. So if you can see here, do you see? This is a cross. And it's at a diagonal as well. So it's like so, and here we go. Now it's a little bit more like coming off the page. So let me see if I can explain this here. So when you do the cross, wow, you guys, I really need to clean up my art space here. So am gonna show you here. So when you draw your composition, right, you do not have to, you can place it any which way you want. So just say you're doing the cross and you want to do it at a diagonal. So you want to do it like so. You want to do it like so, okay? But you can take parts of it off the page. Like, it doesn't have to be a complete cross, because in this composition over here, it's kind of like a half a cross. You know, it's kind of like it's kind of cropped, but it doesn't matter. That just makes it even more dynamic. So you can play around with it. You don't have to put the full cross on the page. You can crop it, you can move it around, you can tilt it, you can do so many different things with it. Like, get as creative as you want. And I'm gonna try not to like fiddle around too much here. And I'm not even gonna draw the facial features right now, because the purposes of this video was to talk about composition. And anyways, the paint is wet, so if I go in there, it's just gonna be a big mess. So I'm not gonna draw the facial features or anything like that. But I hope you can see how, you know, this composition that I first started off with, the shape of a cross, it anchored everything. Like, and it makes it into a really dynamic spread, no matter what I put on top of it. Anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. If you have any questions, I hope I've explained this properly, and in an easy to understand way. But if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comment section, and I will be happy to do my best to answer them. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.